There is a place on Earth where nothing is ever truly safe. Not the fastest swimmer, not the strongest body, not even the creature sitting at the very top of the food chain. And what makes this place terrifying is not its darkness, it's not the cold, it's not even the depth. It's intelligence. Because somewhere in the open ocean, a predator exists that doesn't just hunt with strength. It plans, it teaches, it experiments, and sometimes it plays. You probably know it by a simple name, the orca, also called the killer whale. But that name doesn't even come close to explaining what this animal truly is. Let me ask you something before we go any further. What if the most dangerous hunter on this planet isn't dangerous because it's violent, but because it's smart? When most people think of orcas, they imagine a massive black and white body slicing through the water. They imagine power, speed, apex dominance. And yes, orcas are all of that. But what people almost never talk about is how their minds work. Because the truth is, orcas are not just predators, they are strategists. In fact, their brains are among the most complex brains ever found in the animal kingdom. Larger than a chimpanzee's, more folded than most mammals, and structured in a way that supports memory, emotion, and learning. This isn't an animal that reacts, this is an animal that thinks. And once you understand that, everything about the ocean starts to feel different. Orcas don't hunt alone. They hunt as families, real families with grandparents, with mothers, with children that stay together for life. Some orcapods have been hunting together for over 100 years. Think about that. That means hunting techniques are not just learned, they are inherited, passed down like traditions, like stories, like culture. Yes, culture. Different orca groups eat different food. Some eat fish, some eat seals, some eat sharks. And here's the part that should make you pause for a second. An orca pod that hunts fish cannot suddenly hunt seals, not because they're weak, but because they were never taught how. Their behavior is learned, not instinctive, just like humans. Now let's talk about something that feels almost unreal. Orcas don't just kill sharks, they dominate them. Great white sharks, creatures that humans fear more than almost anything else in the ocean. When a great white senses an orca nearby, it doesn't fight, it leaves. Scientists have tracked great white sharks abandoning entire hunting grounds for months after a single orca shows up. Why? Because orcas know something terrifying. They know exactly how to shut a shark down. They flip the shark upside down. This induces tonic immobility. The shark's body freezes. Its muscles stop responding. And then the orca does something precise. It removes the liver. Only the liver, leaving the rest of the body untouched. That is not random violence. That is surgical knowledge. That is intelligence applied to hunting. But here's where things get even more unsettling. Orcas don't always hunt because they're hungry. Sometimes they hunt because they're curious. They have been seen throwing seals into the air, not to eat them, but to practice. Young orcas watch, they learn, they repeat. Imagine growing up in an ocean where your parents teach you how to hunt, not just to survive, but to master. That's the world orcas live in. Now pause for a moment and think about this. Orcas have never killed a human in the wild. Not one confirmed case, despite being more than capable, despite being smarter than most animals we interact with, despite having no natural predators. They don't see us as prey, which raises a strange question. If orcas are killers, why don't they kill us? The answer isn't comforting, it's awareness. They know what we are. They recognize us as something different, something unpredictable, and maybe something not worth testing. But captivity tells a different story. When orcas are confined, isolated, stripped of their families and their oceans, their behavior changes. They become aggressive, confused, detached. Some have attacked trainers. Some have shown signs of depression. And this tells us something important. Orcas don't just need space, they need meaning. They need social bonds, stimulation, purpose, just like us. There's another detail most people miss. Orcas have accents. Different pods communicate with different vocal patterns. Different clicks, different calls. Orca from one region cannot easily communicate with an orca from another. Again, culture, language, identity. This is not a simple animal. This is a society. Now let me ask you something uncomfortable. What happens when an intelligent species is trapped in a world that no longer makes sense to it? The ocean is changing. Noise pollution, overfishing, chemical waste, climate shifts. Orcas rely on sound to navigate, hunt, and communicate, and we are filling their world with noise. Imagine trying to live your entire life inside a room where alarms never stop ringing. That's the modern ocean, and the orcas know it. Here's something scientists recently discovered. Some orca populations are shrinking, not slowly, rapidly, because their food sources are disappearing. Their hunting patterns no longer work, because the environment they mastered over generations is changing faster than they can adapt. And that should scare us. Because when an epic predator struggles, the entire ecosystem is already in trouble. But here's the most haunting part of all. Orcas remember. They remember hunting grounds. They remember family members. They remember routes across entire oceans. They carry memory across decades. So when something disappears, they don't forget it ever existed. They notice the absence. This video isn't really about orcas being killers. It's about orcas being witnesses. Witnesses to how intelligence survives in the wild, and how fragile even the smartest species becomes when its world changes too fast. Next time you see an orca breach the surface, black and white against the blue, don't just see a predator, see a mind. Because the ocean's most powerful hunter is not powerful because of its teeth. It's powerful because it understands the world it lives in. And the real question is, do we understand the world we're changing?